fine people of Exeter, how are you doing? Again, it's that woo answer to that question that Lucas figured out earlier. How are you doing? Woo. My name's Gaz. Of the two of us, between me and Lucas, I'm the shouty one. So if you stood next to this, tough shit. Today I spent an hour and a half at Temple Meads, waiting for a train that's waiting till the flood recedes. And being mid-November, it's more than a little cold. I feel it in my bones these days as I'm getting old. And normally as well, you know, on tour I drive my van, and I've got this lift to Leeds on the tour bus from Nottingham. So this time I will take the train and I'll have to travel all night, 'cause I'm on tour with my heroes from now till Sunday night. Oh, there's no two ways about it, this is quite the life I chose. It's not glamorous or sexy, but that's just how it goes. And it's service station sandwiches for breakfast, lunch and tea, and I wouldn't change a thing, it's the land pirate's life for me. For an hour and a half, I gave up, I relented, not a single train had passed. And if I am to make a sound check, then I will have to drive. So I went home and got in my van and hit the old M5. The motorways were kind to me and I arrived with time to spare. Met up with the other vans who were already there. Sound checked, had a bite to me, and then opened up the show, and then hung out with some strangers, they're just friends I don't yet know. Oh, there's no two ways about it, this is quite the life I chose. It's not glamorous or sexy, but that's just how it goes. And it's service station sandwiches for breakfast, lunch and tea, and I wouldn't change a thing, it's the land pirate's life for me. And now I'm miles away from anywhere I've been, in the company of thieves who stole my heart and my newfound friends. And given half a chance, I'd do it all again. Oh, I'd do it all again, do it all again. In a blink of an eye, I would do it all again. So when the show was over, I headed up to Leeds, kept one eye out for a lay-by, I'm a man of simple sleeping needs. Then on to Birmingham and the London final show, but I can't drive my van inside that low emission zone. So one more time with fingers crossed, I had to get the train, and I hope to God he hasn't let those rivers flood again. One more show to play and then for me this tour is done. It's done at least till next week when I start another one. Oh, there's no two ways about it, this is quite the life I chose. It's not glamorous or sexy, but that's just how it goes. And it's service station sandwiches for breakfast, lunch and tea, and I wouldn't change a thing, it's the land pirate's life, the land pirate's life, the land pirate's life for me. Cheers! I didn't realise until just now I'm losing my voice. This is going to be a croaky affair. Excuse me. Share lots of different stages with musicians of all ages. I'm a footnote on the pages of their touring history, and if they don't remember seeing or recall me even being on the poster, well that's no surprise to me. And I wouldn't even blame them, and it's no good cause to hate them. I'm not crass enough to name them here today, but sometimes I often wonder if the shoe was on the other foot, would I have just behaved in the same way? I'm always one step left of my limelight, tapping my foot on the sideline, loitering in small print at the bottom of the bill. Always support, not supported, get ignored and not applauded. I get drunk but can't afford it, so I will just carry on. Oh, I'm a man with just one choice, 2 old guitars, 1 croaky voice. I used to make a lot of noise night after night, and the people that I play with give me strength enough to stay with the idea I won't give up without a fight. See, I've rubbed shoulders with the best, top of the game above the rest, and it's inspired me to invest all of my life in the pursuit of something higher. But I've yet to set the world on fire, and I'm well aware I'm running out of time. I'm always one step left of limelight, tapping my foot on the sideline, loitering in small print at the bottom of the bill. Always support, not supported, get ignored and not applauded. I get drunk but can't afford it, so I will. Oh yes I will. Just carry on. Oh yes I will. Just carry on. I've always harboured hope that I would one day play a show where I could be in the right place at the right time. But I know that's unrealistic, chances are I fucking missed it. Disappointingly consistent is my life. See, I've played in lots of places and I've met some famous faces that really put me through my paces on the stage. But deep down I've always known they'll never take me on the road, so I've learned not to raise my hope, just raise my game. I'm always one step left of limelight, tapping my foot on the sideline, loitering in small print at the bottom of the bill. Always support, not supported, get ignored and not applauded. I'd get drunk but can't afford it, so I will. Oh yes I will. Just carry on. Thank you very much. Circus man entertain the best he can, but clowns are creepy and a bit weird. Seen the acrobats draw fire and tame big cats. Strikes me as a strange thing to want to be good at. I'd rather see a man in a bar playing songs that he wrote on a beat up on guitar. I don't care if sometimes he don't play it right. 4 chords and the truth, and have a good night. Football games, to me they're all the same. One team wins, one loses, and next year they'll just play each other again and again and again. I've seen films at the cinema, some good, some so bad I don't know what they are. I'll tell you one thing, every time I went I was overcharged. I'd rather see a girl in a bar playing songs that she wrote on a beat up on guitar. I don't care if sometimes she don't play it right. 4 chords truth, and by me she's alright. She's alright. She's alright. Alright. I've seen too much TV, way more than what's good for me. I don't know why, because all I ever see is repeats of How I Met Your Mother and The Big Bang Theory. After all the things I've seen, there's only one place I want to be, on stage with nothing but my guitar between you and me. I'd rather be that man in a bar, playing songs that I wrote on my beat up old guitar. Hope you don't mind if sometimes I don't play it right. 4 chords and the truth. If anyone's been counting, it's actually 5. That's alright. Oh, that's alright. That's alright. Cheers. When you lose your voice, generally speaking, it's the top notes that go first, and you can't hit the top notes, and the low notes become a lot easier. So it's simple. You just put everything down a key, and you can still carry on doing your gig. But this is a new experience for me. What I'm getting today is I'm losing the bottom part of my register. I can still hit the high notes, so I'm going to just bring everything up a little bit and sing like this. I don't know why. It's all going to be a bit weird. But we'll try cracking on. I grew up in Swindon, but that's not where I was born. I drew my first breath in Kettering one sunny Wednesday morn. Born to a preacher's wife and a preacher man. Folk called them the Brookfields, I called them Mum and Dad. And they had this tiny cottage by a leather factory. That's where I spent my first few weeks, sister, Mum, Dad and me. And we didn't have a lot, but what we had, we made it count. My first few weeks were happy, of that fact I have no doubt. Hey! Took Dad to London when I was just a few weeks old. I don't remember much, but we moved to a flat in Streatham, so I'm told. And my only memory here was condensation round the walls. And in winter it would freeze, but Mum and Dad would keep us warm. 4 years in we moved again, as Dad's job took us east, only as far as Essex, to this town called Chedwell Heath. And that's where I started school, and I hated every day. We moved on to pastures new, September '88. Oh, I have lived in many towns, and I've lived in 100 more. As I drive these songs around, finding folk to play them for. Oh, I've lived in many towns, and I've lived in 100 more. So we packed up Dad's Montego, and my family headed west. Settled down in Swindon town, that's where I spent the rest of my formative years, learning how to get things right and wrong. It was where I had my first love, it was where I wrote my first song. And I left home at 17, and it's funny how things go in Northamptonshire again, with Kettering just down the road. And I spent 2 years there trying to make sense of who I am. Oh, I left home a boy, and I returned a man. Oh, I have lived in many towns, and I've lived in 100 more. As I drive these songs around, finding folk to play them for. Oh, I've lived in many towns, and I've lived in 100 more. And at 24 I joined joined a band and moved back to London town, feeling like I chased the ghost of my younger self around. And we thought we knew everything, but we didn't have a clue. And we did all of the stupid things that all guys in bands do. But it was doomed to failure, so I went where I felt safe. A bungee cord, a Swindon town, took me back once again. And I've never felt as low as then, I never felt as beat. But I'm not the kind of person easily admits defeat. Oh, I haven't lived in many towns, and I've lived in 100 more. As I drive these songs around, finding folk to play them for. Oh, I've lived in many towns, and I've lived in 100 more. But I still travel round, and by the law of averages I'll soon be in your town. And we can share a drink or two and dance into the night, 'cause playing songs to folk like you is what keeps me alive. And that keen sense of belonging and that feeling that I'm home comes from every town I play in, and I don't feel so alone. And when people ask the question, oh, where do you come from? Well, I say I come from everywhere, and I played them this song. I have lived in many towns, and I've lived in 100 more. As I drive these songs around, finding folk to play them for. Oh, I've lived in many towns, and I've lived in 100 more. One more time now, I have lived in many towns, and I've lived in 100 more. As I drive these songs around, finding folk to play them for. Oh, I've lived in many towns, and I've lived in 100 more. Thank you very much. It's still quite hard to hear it though. I ain't got many slow songs, but this is one of them. Empty kind of man. I know it's hard for you to understand. Everywhere I go, I see the worst case scenario, 'cause I'm a glass half empty kind of man. You're a glass half full of kind of girl, but you inhabit an entirely different world. You're everything I need, the marijuana to my speed. You're a glass half full of kind of girl. But I am sorry, 'cause it seems you got the bad end of this deal. And always worry, the way I am might change the way you feel. 'Cause I'm a glass half empty kind of man. It's just the way I've always been, it's just the way I am. The air above my head has a rain cloud that will stay, 'cause I'm a glass half empty kind of man. You see the good in everyone. Well, I could find a dark place on the surface of the sun. You see the good in everything. You're the perfect counter melody in every single sad song that I sing. I sing. 'Cause you're a glass half full up kind of girl. One smile from you can change my world. You're everything I need, the marijuana to my speed. You're a glass half full of kind of girl. But I'm still sorry, 'cause it seems you got the bad end of this deal. Always away. The way I am might change the way you feel. The way I am might change the way you feel. The way I am might change the way you feel. I don't want to keep banging on about it, but yeah, I'm losing all my notes down the bottom. I can't see this gig ending with me having a voice. This is I'm going to try this song in a different key, because I think this is the only way around it. This is a love song for a man called Loudon Wainwright III. A man with 27 albums, 3 of which I bought today on vinyl, because I don't own them yet, but now I do, so I'm very happy. Loudon Wainwright blows my mind, more and more all of the time. And I hope that one day or one night I write as well as Wainwright writes, to put one's life, one's family on display for all to see, albeit in poetic prose. It takes bravery to be so exposed, to lay one's sins out on the ground, scrutinized by all around. Easily could go so wrong, to tell your stories in these songs. Songs of travel, songs of home, songs of being fine all alone. So witty it's easy to miss what the real meaning is. Songs of fame and songs of wealth, songs of age and fading health, songs of family, songs of loss, songs name dropping Dylan and the boss. And when I play your songs at shows, oh, I can see the ones who know, the people out there just like me, the ever-loyal fraternity. And I always say this song's not mine, Loudon Wainwright who it's by. I'm pretty sure you wouldn't care if I played the odd one here and there. And I only play your songs because I just love them so damn much. And I just borrow, that's no crime. But of course you're more than welcome to borrow some of mine. Such elegant simplicity, from red guitar to song in C. The bar's been raised to standard set, and I haven't even come close to it yet. Such honest music should be praised in such dark, dishonest days. So let's celebrate such gems as he. Oh, every song, every LP, CUIE means so much to me. Get lost in the discography. Perhaps going up a key was a bad idea. Loudon Wainwright blows my mind. Cheers. It's hard to convey a patronising round of applause, but I think you managed that very well. You say clapping sarcastically. Well done, mate. Yeah, you're great. Thanks for that, man. Okay, I'm gonna fumble my way through a Loudon Wainwright song, just because he writes better songs than me, and I might stand a chance of getting this one out properly. We'll see. For those of you who've not heard of Loudon Wainwright, like I say, 27 different albums to choose from. I recommend starting with the first one and working your way through. It's a good day's worth of listening, so, you know, for a rainy day, Spotify, bottle of whiskey. That's what I'm going to do tomorrow. This is a song he wrote in the 70s, possibly 80s. Let's see. 20-odd years I have strummed on guitars, 5,000 lost flat picks, 4 fingertip scars, and I must have broken a million strings, picking and strumming and playing these things, banging and tuning and playing these things. It's been 16 years now that I've written songs, over 100, still going strong, about drinking and hockey and flying above, again and again, about unhappy love, over and over, unhappy love. Music for money, but I do it for fun. Oh, I know how to do it, it's easily done. To stand on a stage doesn't make me afraid. I'm comfortable up there, it's gotten me laid, and it always amazes me when I get paid. So here I am doing all that I can do. You're paying, I'm playing, I'm grateful to you. Indoors or outdoors, at home and abroad, I sing these songs, people sometimes applaud. It doesn't change me, I just hope they applaud.
What head guitars does? All my guitars have got scratches because I just throw them on the floor. They work.
This is a song for the Swindonians in the room. trust into us, looks into its ways. Afraid this is where I'll spend the rest of my days. He's got his problems and I know he's got his dives, but it's the people make your place and it's the people I like. I've seen a lot of towns and I've had a lot of fun, but I've only really ever truly lived in one. Familiarity's never bred contempt. I've never really figured out what that meant. No matter where I travel and no matter where I roam, the sunny hills of Wiltshire that I'll always go home. To the Marlborough Downs, the counter sauce we played in the industrial towns. I play whatever this land in the bars and in the streets, and it's my favourite place to play cause all the people that I meet. From the gentry in the manor to the beggar on the road, there's a life to be lived and there's a story to be told. I'm telling it a song because it's all I got to give, and it's a song about the people and the place I used to live. Familiarity's never bred contempt. I've never really figured out what that meant. No matter where I travel and no matter where I roam, the sunny hills of Wiltshire that I'll always go home. Friends and I've had a lot of foes. I've had a lot of happiness and a couple of woes. I've built a lot of bridges, although some have been banned. With true friends I've found, and that's the one thing I've learned. Every time I look up to the leadings and trees, I'm reminded of the reason that they put me at ease. No matter where I go and no matter what I've done, I'll always believe my heart belongs to SN1. Familiarity's never bred contempt. I've never really figured out what that meant. No matter where I travel and no matter where I roam, the sunny hills of Wiltshire that I'll always call home. Familiarity's I'll meet my demons in the night. We've got unfinished business. I never win but always fight. This isn't hell, what is this? It's 5 AM, the sun will be up soon. There's only so many things at night to do, and you will make believe you slept just fine. And spend the next day wondering maybe this time the TV endlessly repeats itself. Daytime telly's bad, voices televisual hell. I'll take the drugs, I'll take the exercise. There isn't much to take that I haven't tried. I'll meet my demons in the night. We've got unfinished business. I never win but always find. This isn't hell, what is this? In the night, we've got unfinished business. I never win but always find. This is hell, what is this? This isn't hell, what is this? I'll meet my demons in the night. We've got unfinished business. I never win but always find. This isn't hell, what is this? This isn't hell, what is this? This isn't hell, what is this? Thank you. feeling that songs like that are going to be what completely ruins my voice, so we'll have to leave that right till the end. Otherwise, that will be the end. It's just a song about stealing songs. There's nothing new under the sun, so naturally I am bound to become a cover of a copy of a rip-off of a better man. It's all been sung and said and played before 1,000 times and probably thousands more. My limited ability is always gonna limit me again. I know sometimes I'm ripping off Frank, and that's okay. I owe that man a debt of thanks for how I play. I've got my heroes and I know I'm not alone in this. They've got their heroes too, so maybe we're all plagiarists. If imitation is the highest form of flattery, I'm gonna sound a little like the ones who influence me. I'm listening to all my favourite songs. I'll pick up my guitar and play along. So when I write, I'm always under influence of something or someone. I'm trying hard to be original. I can only play so many chords, and by the time it's written, it's too late to realise what I have done. And I know sometimes I'm ripping off some, and that's okay. I owe that man a debt of thanks for how I play. I've got my heroes and I know I'm not alone in this. They've got their heroes too, so maybe we're all plagiarists. If imitation is the highest form of flattery, I'm gonna sound a little like the ones who influence me. And that's okay. So I owe that man a debt of thanks for how I play. Got my heroes and I know I'm not alone in this. They've got their heroes too, so maybe we're all plagiarists. If imitation is the highest form of flattery, I'm gonna sound a little like the ones who influence me. Thank you very much.
He's not. He reckons he's rubbish at
Where's my bucket? Come on, where is it?
You want it now, dear?
I've got a song about busking, and because I used to be a busker, and it's always during this song that people think it's hilarious to throw money at me. They think it's funny until I keep it. But these guys have made me a busking bucket. And in my busking bucket are all the things that you find when you go busking that people drop in. So we have got a pear, apple, so 2 of my 5 a day, a tissue, more worryingly, an unused condom, a used condom, and about £1.37 in change. Back in my busking days, I would consider that to be a fucking good afternoon's work. And I can make good use of most of the things in there. The strange thing is that all of those things actually did appear in my busking bucket. All but the used condom.
Being used!
A busker plays to fill his belly. He plays to entertain the crowds. You won't see him on the telly, but he's playing pretty much anywhere he is allowed. Some might say that he's a nuisance, and others swear he is a bard. You've any number of excuses why you never drop a coin, but a busker's life is hard. He's not playing in all weathers. Come rain or shine, he's got a tune. No, don't confuse him with the beggars, my friends. 'Cause when a busker plays, oh, a busker plays for you. And he's just trying to make a living. And people shout,
Oi, get a job!
that's pretty good. And he relies upon the giving nature of the passers-by. And if you ask, he'll play your favourite song. And if you think this isn't grafting, maybe you should have a go. And we will see how long you last, friend, in the streets of England's towns. And we'll see how many songs you know. 'Cause he's out playing in all weathers. Come rain or shine, he's got a tune. But don't confuse him with the beggars, my friends. 'Cause when a busker plays, oh, a busker plays for you. And even if no one was watching, he'd be playing anyway. It's in his blood, it's in his nature. It's just a bonus if he's paid. And if you think he'll spend your money on heroin or crack cocaine, not every busker is a junkie, just like every passer. I'm going to play you a new song, if that's alright. That's my set list. It was. I'm going to play you a gentle new song. I think I'll play it on this key, because it might work in this key. We'll see. I very nearly bought a house recently. I say nearly, it all fucked up at the last minute, as these things do. And just bore it all fucked up, I mentally furnished the house in my mind, planning exactly where the pool table would go, and my girlfriend planned exactly where the dining table would go. It's the difference between men and women, isn't it? We've compromised. We've gone for a pool table with a sheet of MDF on the top and a tablecloth over that. It works, it's the perfect compromise. No one knew. We had friends over for Christmas dinner and no one had any idea they were eating their dinner off of a pool table. Until somebody lost a sprout and it came in the ball return. That didn't happen, that was a lie. But the pool table thing's true. But anyway, so this is a song that I wrote about furnishing a house. It's not the most interesting subject matter, but then, you know, it was a niche in the market. I thought I'd fill the fuckers, you know what I mean? So yeah, this is a song about me wanting to decorate my kitchen with wallpaper made up of flash tattoo designs. Sailor Jerry ones particularly. I think it'll be tacky as hell. So yeah. Oh, I'm sick and tired of renting. I want a place to call my own. I've got a roof over my head, but now I want a home. And I don't need a mansion. 2 up, 2 down will do. We make our house a home we love. Me, the dog and you. And I just want our Sailor Jerry's kitchen. And a front room that's exactly like a pub. A Chesterfield sofa and a drinks globe by the fire. Oh, I don't want much, but that would be enough. Oh, I'm sick and tired of renting. It's money down the drain. I pay my landlord's mortgage, so he's the one who gains. See, I quite like my landlord, but I like his house even more. And I'd make him an offer if I wasn't so damn poor. Oh, I just want our Sailor Jerry's kitchen. And our front room that's exactly like a pub. A Chesterfield sofa and a drinks globe by the fire. Oh, I don't want much, but that would be enough. An Englishman's home is his castle, but I am not the king, no. I am not the lord and master yet of anything. But that won't last forever. One day I'll be crowned. One day I will get to put my roots down in the ground. Mortgage is French for death grip, or so I once believed. The 30 years of debt is not so daunting now to me. And I'd have my 10% by now, but stuff gets in the way. So I'll stay on the road until I've earned enough to pay for our Sailor Jerry's kitchen. And a front room that's exactly like a pub. Chesterfield sofa and a drinks globe by the fire. I don't want much, but I quite like it enough to buy Sailor Jerry's kitchen. And a front room that's exactly like an old English pub. A festival back garden and a fire pit and a stage. Oh, I don't want much, but that would be enough. I don't want much, but that would be enough. Cheers. I hope the people that did get the house are fucking miserable. I'm just the man who means the best for you. I'm not a man of words. The few I have will always be the truth. I'm not a man of mighty action. I'm just a man who acts the fool. I'm not a fighting kind of person, but I'll always fight for you. who's fast to judge, and a man who's quick to hang him. Awful lot of hope on love. I'm pretty sluggish on the uptake, not too fast to cotton on. I'd like to pretend that my heartache is the reason for my songs, but I'm trying hard to make you see that I'm falling apart if you leave me. I know I'm not exactly perfect, but I'll always do my best to make you see that this is worth it. You're not settling for less. No, I'll never have much money, just enough to get us by. And I know poverty's not funny, but I just can't do 9 to 5. So I'm trying hard to make you see that I'm falling apart. Okay, so I can't get the high notes now either. I'll give it my best go, but I'm going to miss them every time. So I think next time the chorus comes around, I'm going to try a different note, a lower note. I'll do my best. I know I didn't need to tell you about the kind of man I am, and I didn't need to sell you promises of future plans. For some crazy kind of reason, you tell me that you're in love, and I'm a man you can believe in, and that will always be enough. But I'm still trying hard to make you see that I'm falling apart if you leave me. If you leave me, so don't leave me. What time is it? You got time? I do apologise for this lack of voice. It's really going now. Thank you. I really haven't. I'm going to keep playing until it actually goes. If that happens before 11, I apologise. I've had a weird month. I've spent all of it in a car, driving up and down the country, and in the middle of all this, I found out that there are medical reasons why I can no longer drink cider, which is, as you can imagine, a devastating blow. So yeah, but there's upsides to everything, I suppose, isn't there? So this song is another new one. I will probably get the words wrong, but this song is dedicated to anybody else who recently found out that they were diabetic. The doctor sat me down and said I'm sorry, but it's really not the very best of news. You'll have to cut back on the sweeties, you've got type 2 diabetes. Worst of all, you'll have to cut down on the booze. Now as you know, I'm partial to a tipple. You can imagine that this news came as a blow, but I was not prepared for the next thing that he said. It's your favourite drink's the one that's got to go. No, you can't drink cider anymore. It's like the rug pulled out from under me and my head hit the floor. No, I can't drink cider, now it's true. Oh, what is a West Country boy to do? He said, for some reason your pancreas stopped working. I'm sorry, but we do not know the cause. Your blood sugar's always high, faulty insulin is why. That's the reason you've been feeling in the wars. So now I have to watch my sugar intake, and it's just typical, my favourite drink's the worst. I don't mind not eating chocolate, I could give up quite a lot, but what the fuck do I drink now to quench my thirst? Cause I can't drink cider anymore. I didn't know how good I had it when I had it all before. No, I can't drink cider, now it's true. Oh, what is a West Country boy to do? Violin solo. Oh, there is in my head anyway. Compared to some I know I've got it easy. Life's unfair, but it's nobody's fault. So from cider I'll abstain and try my best not to complain. And after all, there is always single malt. But I can't drink cider anymore. Wine is out as well, I think, but whiskey's fine, I'm sure. No, I can't drink cider, now it's true. Oh, what is a West Country boy to do? No, I can't drink cider anymore. Shares in Thatcher's gold will soon be crashing through the floor. No, I can't drink cider, now it's true. Oh, what is a West Country boy to do? Thank you very much. This next song is a song about a conversation that I had with a born-again Christian in a nightclub. This song is not about all born-again Christians, so if there are any born-again Christians in the room, please don't take offence, it's not about you. Some of my best friends are born-again Christians. In fact, this song is totally fine for all religious audiences, because for those of you who don't know, my dad is a vicar, Church of England, and when I wrote this song, I emailed my dad the lyrics because I got a lot of love for my dad and a lot of respect for his beliefs, and I genuinely mean that. I think it's an incredible thing what he does for a living, you know? It's just, I just don't agree with it. We just don't talk about it over Christmas, do you know what I mean? So anyway, I wrote the lyrics down in an email and I sent it to my dad, and I said, Dad, if you're offended by these lyrics, I won't put the song on the album because I don't want to piss you off, do you know what I mean? Because I have a lot of love and respect for what you do and what you believe in. And I meant that. And he emailed me back about 10 minutes later, my dad, the vicar, and these were his exact words. Fuck me, son, that's brilliant. So this song is vicar approved. And that means Jesus says it's fine. Or at least it would if he was real. A man once asked this question of me, what do you believe? I said I don't believe in anything, or anyone but me. He said, aren't you scared of what will happen to you when you die? I said, I'm more afraid of never living life while I'm alive. Just about still alive. He looked me in the eye, convinced my soul was damned unless I signed it over to a fairy tale man. He said, my boy, I'll pray for you, I know you can be saved. I said, save your prayers for those who care for me, it is too late. Can't bear the thought of lying on my deathbed with regrets, the places I've not ventured, people I have never met. I want to live like every second is the last I will achieve, and as long as I hurt no one, then who cares what I believe? That man, he talked for hours about the virtues of his faith, and I could see the stony cold conviction on his face. He fired every weapon in his armory of lies. Some of it made sense to me, much to my surprise. To remind myself that he was well rehearsed, attempting to exploit fear by misquoting Bible verse. I know your game, my friend, you tie mountain man falls at your feet. Can't bear the thought of lying on my deathbed with regrets of places I've not ventured, people I have never met. I wanna live like every second is the last I will achieve, and as long as I have no one then who cares what I believe. So if your beliefs bring comfort to your heart, then who am I to try and tear your world apart? I wish you well in your endeavours and your life, and I'll leave you to yours if you leave me to mine. It's not your place to impose religious law on the rest of us like so many have before, and it's equally not my place to say you're wrong. I don't have to read your book, and you don't have to like this song. Thinking should allow the courtesy for men like you to testify your faith to men like me. But the difference that I see between belief and having none is a lack of faith that's never waged a war with anyone. Can't bear the thought of lying on my deathbed with regrets of places I've not ventured, people I have never met. I wanna live like every second is the last I will achieve, and as long as I have no one, then who cares what who cares what you, who cares what we believe? Thank you. Right. This is a song about bullying while I have strength in my fucking throat to sing it. Sorry son, you've got to go to school again today, 'cause if you don't get educated you'll never find your way. I know it doesn't seem as worth it at the moment, but it's true, these are the best days of your life, my boy. Now would I lie to you? So grab your lunch and textbooks, get your ass out of the door, and I'll drop you at the gate where I've dropped you 1,000 times before. Do your best to learn some lessons, have some fun and make some friends. You've only got a few years left and you'll thank me in the end. I've got sweat in my eyes, man. Oh. Can't see a damn thing.
That's the new version.
I know it's hard, but don't cry, 'cause these things are sent to try. I know you find it hard to see, but you are always gonna be the bigger man. Dad, you never see what happens when you go. I become the primary target for every bully that I know. You always taught me that the best way to avoid a bully's fist is to ignore them and they'll move along. But that's not true, is it? So I accept my daily beating with a minimum of fuss, and accept the fact that that's just how it goes for kids like us. For the moderately intelligent or slightly overweight, the best years of your life might not be all that fucking great. I know it's hard, but I won't cry, 'cause these things are sent to try. But I find it hard to see how I am ever gonna be the bigger man. I never stood a chance, did I? The overweight religious kid with 4 eyes. Everything that they put me through, decades on, I'm drinking in the pub, and a guy that used to kick my ass at school just wanders up, and he tries to be all nice to me, as if everything had changed. I grab the fucker by the throat, and I carefully explain a decade of sustained mental and physical abuse at the hands of him and all his friends has unsurprisingly produced a good deal of repressed resentment and a tendency to snap. I don't want to be your friend, how could you? Thank you ever so much for coming out and for watching. I feel like I've done a really shit performance because I've got fuck all voice and I feel like I've been like a letdown, so I'm really sorry. But for someone who wasn't a letdown, can we, before I go, have a massive round of applause for Lucas Drinkwater, please. He actually used to be called Lucas Drink Cider, but because of my illness, he changed it. Yeah. Thanks, man, I appreciate it. Thank you very much for coming out. Like I say, thank you to Andy and everybody else at the Globe for letting me come and play here. It's a privilege and an honour, and I'm very sweaty but very happy. Thank you very much. Round of applause for this wonderful pub. But yeah, genuinely, the biggest round of applause has to go to yourselves and each other, because the fact that people come out to watch me play gigs is still a little bit baffling. So thank you very much indeed. Give yourselves a clap. Cheers. This is my last song, and it really is my last song because I haven't got the throat to do another one. So if you go more, there will be one. So this is it. Thank you very much indeed for coming. This is a West Country song. Oh, the West Country's always been good to me, and I don't want to leave, but I've got it cheap feet, and there's no place. I'll go where I feel as at home, so you will always know I will return. Well, I've been to New York City, from the statue to the park, and I've visited the sights, well, all the sights near all the bars. And as beautiful as NYC can look this time of year, there's this pub down in Exeter where I'd rather sink your beer. Oh, the West Country's always been good to me, and I don't want to leave, but I've got it cheap feet, and there's no place. I'll go where I feel as at home, so you will always know I will return. Oh, I need to see the world before I age another year, see what this planet has to offer, but I can't see it from here. So I'll travel around the globe until I've seen all I can see, and then I'll come back with my stories, photographs and memories. Oh, the West Country's always been good to me, and I don't want to leave, but I've got it cheap feet, and there's no place I feel as at home, so you will always know I will return. But I could not resist the pull of returning to where I grew up and where I went to school. And as much as I love the West End part of London to the core, I'd rather see the West End of the M4 corridor. And the West Country's always been good to me, and I don't want to leave, but I've got it cheap feet, and there's no place